Hey, so in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about a little lesson that's been poking at me right now. It's been pestering my brain, it's been picking me apart. It's a funny little thing. It's just, in the terms I'd put it, we all go to sleep with the same thing. With one same thing, one thing in common. Our thoughts. Now, this doesn't mean that we all go to sleep with thoughts. There's no physical body that is thoughts. But I mean to say that, some people go to bed with this status and this item, and some people don't do those. Some people don't have those, yada yada. Some people don't have the same things, right? But altogether, we all do have our thoughts. And we all self-reflect at the end of the day. So that's what the saying means, essentially. It just sounds better when you put it that way, you know what I mean? But the little lesson in that is that we need to live a day that we're proud of. Now, what this means, what this all means, let me start with a little bit of backstory to tell you what this all means. So I've been going through my days recently, and I've come across this little issue, which is where I've noticed that the night before, I'll come up with this plan, and I'll have this motivation to do all these things, and then I set out this plan and I go to sleep, and then I wake up the next morning and there's no motivation. I don't feel like I want to do that stuff yet. I don't feel like it's the right way to go. I feel like my day could take another path. I could be a little bit more chill. And sometimes it does happen that way. I mean, it isn't the most harmful thing. It's not like my day's lazy and I get no work done. It's just to say that I don't get the same amount of work done as I had my 3 a.m. motivation tell me to. Which is a funny thing. This links directly into that meme culture of like that 3 a.m. motivation. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this video is about. But either way it goes, I noticed that I'll go to sleep and I'll have that. I'll wake up, it's gone. And I'll go through the day. I'll go through the whole day. And I won't be as concerned about those goals that I had last night. So I'll make all these decisions that seem perfectly fine. I mean, today they seem perfectly fine. It's not like I'm losing out on too much work. I'm still getting the essential stuff done. I have time to chill and maybe play a game with a friend for a moment and, I don't know, watch some TV with my brother. I got the time to sacrifice a couple things to just meddle in other things. It's all fine. But then I get to the end of the day again. I get to the night. I look at it, and I don't think I did the best I could. I come up with all these things and all these opinions that are just, they're completely opposite. Because in the day I thought, that this will be fine if I just take this out and do this instead, this little thing. Play a game with a friend over doing that one little assignment. The assignment isn't due until next week. I never let it get too close, but let's say hypothetically, the assignment isn't due until next week. So it's not like I'm running out of time. But I look at it at the end of the day and I'm still thinking like I could have still done better. I could have still done more. Even though it's a perfectly fine trade-off, we have a week to finish that tiny assignment that takes no longer than an hour. I can easily do it whenever. It's a fine trade-off, but I get to the end of the day, and only then, only at that point in the day, do I feel like I should not have done that. Well, but why? But why? It's so peculiar, right? Because we look at this in the middle of the day, and it's perfectly fine. But it's only at the end of the day that it's not fine. So I gave it some thought. I've been doing some thinking. And from what I gather, from what I can understand, it's kind of like it's an amount of self-reflection. I think it's because we view things in like a mini lifetime kind of grasp. Think about this as well for the end of the month and the end of the year and the end of the decade, all that stuff. We always have this same kind of attitude. Because at the end of the day, we take time to reflect on what we did that day, which we don't do at any point other in the day. Or, well, I won't say that you don't self-reflect at any other point in the day, but most people don't self-reflect until the end of the day. It just doesn't occur to them. I'm one of them to a degree. I try to, I self-reflect maybe 2-3 times, but then there's other days where I only do it at the night. So on days like that, you only self-reflect on what you did that day at the end of the day. And then when it comes to the end of the month, we only self-reflect on what we did that month when it comes the end of the month. And then when it comes the end of the year, we look at what we did that year, but we only look at it at the end of the year. The year's over, it's gone, but we only look at it then. This is why people get that whole, like, the whole, they regret what they did last year. And then the culture is, we'll make New Year's goals. And that's the equivalent of going to sleep, and you self-reflect before you go to sleep, and then you get that 3 a.m. motivation. It isn't exactly 3 a.m., but it's more like 12 a.m., but the meme culture. Anyway, I'm not meme reviewing. The point is, you get that late night motivation, and that's the equivalent of the New Year's motivation, but for the day. And then you wake up, and it's gone. Whereas in New Year's, you give it like a week or two, and the motivation's gone. And then next year, next day, you repeat the same process. Same with the month. Same with the month. Same with the decade. Same with your life. Because these are all mini lifetimes. We grasp them in a mini lifetime sense. Because in a way, we're born at the beginning of the day, the beginning of the month, and the year, and the decade, all that stuff. We go through our life, through the rest of that time, and then we die at the end of the day, the end of the month, end of the year, decade, all that stuff. Because we're going to sleep, and that mini lifetime is over. The day is gone. The month, it's gone. The year, it's gone. It's over. So we're going to sleep, and then we get a chance, now that it's gone, and now that we have nothing left to do in the day, nothing left to do in the month, nothing left to do in the year, we just get a moment to ourselves. And in that moment, we think about all we did that day. All we did that month, all we did that year. Because only then do we have a moment to ourselves. It's interesting because self-reflection only comes after everything else is done. Well, not always, but for 90% of people, we don't prioritize it that much. We don't, do we? Not enough. I saw a lot of people do prioritize it, but is it enough that you can go through your day and your month and your year and you self-reflect before the end reaches and you become better before the end reaches? Because if we rely on the end, well, all your time's up. So how are you going to benefit? That's it. That's the end of the day. That's the end of the month. That's the end of the year. So if you only reflect at the end, how are you going to live a proud day? A proud month and a proud year. That's the lesson, right? I said, you've got to live a proud day. We all go to sleep with the same ideas, the same thoughts, the same pattern. And we all got to learn from it so that we can live a proud day and a proud month and a proud year. Because if we don't learn from this and we don't self-reflect, then we'll repeat the same process where we make mistakes in the day. We do things we don't really like once it comes the end of the day. And then the day's gone. So what are you going to do? You get all that motivation, and then you just repeat it again the next day. Instead, what if we self-reflect more than once a day? What if we make it a step in our day? Because when I say a step in our day, I mean we've got that whole wash up and eat, go to work, go to school, do this goal, do that goal, all that stuff. Those are our steps. But then our last step is go to sleep. And then as we're going to sleep, because you can't just like go to sleep. Once we're in bed and we're going to sleep, we're alone. We think. We self-reflect. Because we all go to bed with our thoughts. So, for that matter, why don't we make self-reflection one of the steps in the day, two of the steps in the day, three of the steps. Self-reflect after every now and then so that you can look at the day and you can say, all right, I'm up for 3 hours. I've been up for 3 hours. What have I done? All right, I didn't do this, didn't do that, did do this, did do that. Let's get after these two things. And then check in 3 hours later. I didn't do that one thing, but I did do the other. Let's keep moving. You see what would happen? If you keep self-reflecting, you would keep on revitalizing and looking at what you did, and then boom, you come the end of the day and you self-reflected all through the day, so you knew your goals, you got after them, and then you do the final self-reflection of the day and you can say that you had a proud day. That's the exact goal I'm looking for. Of course, this isn't something that I'm a pro at just yet. I'm still getting with it, but it's just the lesson that's been pestering my mind recently. It's just been poking me, because I've been going through these days, and it's not like I've been wasting them, but it's not like I've been doing the absolute most. And I feel like I could be doing the absolute most, and I feel like I would be happier if I did. So this is what I've gathered. This is what I've thought. This is the rationale that I have, my opinion. So I hope it helps you a ton. I know we all have, or at least had, this same problem. So either at whatever stage you're at, I hope this helps you so much. And my challenge for you is to just self-reflect right now. Take a look at your day right now and think, what have I done? Don't make it take too long, of course, but just think, what did I do? What did I not do? What do I want to do? And how can I manage this? And then get right after it. And then you'll live a proud day that you can look at the end of the day, and you'll have the motivation to continue it tomorrow. Not the motivation, the discipline, the will to continue it tomorrow. There will be no such thing as late night motivation for you after this, because you'll go to sleep and you already know you're a champion, so you don't need motivation. You'll get it done anyway. At least that's what I'm kind of experiencing. So regardless, either way it goes, I'm sure I'm going to have another opinion on this in the future, but for now, this is how it is in my mind. So I hope this helps you a ton. Try out my challenge. I'm sure it will help you, and that's my words on it. Thanks for watching. Take care, my friend.